I said that I was going to try to do something for the qualifiers, and here we are. EG played against EG Bulba. I am going to call them Ritsu and friends because EG Bulba versus EG is just too confused. Game 1, EG wanted to play a very pick-off heavy game, dominate their lanes, while Ritsu and friends were looking to take team fights and do physical burst damage with the Juggernaut and the T.
Phantom Lancer.
At the very start of the game, Zai gets a free kill on the courier, manages to escape with his life.
Radiant's courier has been killed. They always go after the courier.
About 30 seconds later, there are 2 kills that happen. One in the mid lane, one in the bottom lane. Universe gets a solo kill on the Phoenix. We see him chasing him down here, just beating him down slowly.
First blood!
First blood.
Sumail plays his brother in the mid lane. UR cancels an auto attack by accident, ends up dying. Sumail barely escapes.
First blood.
I leave the temple undefended.
Rest now.
His life. Ritsu and friends start feeling the pressure to make something happen. They get very aggressive in the top lane. 3 heroes move up. Good rotations from EG. They turn it around with the help of very good crushes from Universe. They only lose Zai in this fight. Big loss for Ritsu.
Radiant's middle tower could use some help.
Kill him. Red.
At about 15 minutes, Ritsu and Fear both try to commit for towers, and both end up dying for it. Fairly even trade, but overall, EG is still ahead.
Dire's middle tower just went down. Dire's bottom tower is being chipped away. Dire's bottom tower is falling. Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower needs some help.
Don't put me in a box.
2 minutes later, around the 17-minute mark, Darkseer gets caught out. While he looks to make an escape, they end up taking a very bad team fight, and they lose 4-0, even after a very great Phoenix Ed.
Not much good's happening to Radiant's bottom tower. Are those cracks in Dire's top tower? Radiant's bottom tower's got problems. Dire's top tower is under attack. Killing spree. Double kill. Are those cracks
Phoenix barely
in Dire's
escapes,
top
TPing out in the trees, not having vision, and then we see UR get caught out as he tries to escape, not having a blink dagger, instead deciding to go for the early Midas Deso. He gets punished for it and blown up.
Dominating. Ownage.
EG secures the next road, and then moves on, taking a very convincing team fight, and eventually forcing out an early G.
Monster kill.
A fate hidden from me, Senor.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower could use some help.
Ultimately, I think they just won their lanes too hard, and while Nyx got caught out a couple of times that he didn't need to, Sumail managed to outplay his older brother. In Game 2, we see a very greedy draft from EG and a very cheesy draft from Ritsu and friends. I think they realized that they need to pick a lot of team fight and a lot of heroes that they're comfortable with that are outside of the box. Hence, we see a Vengeful Spirit Kunkka roaming combo with a Slark trying to make as much aggression happen as possible. Unfortunately, in the early game, they just kind of get caught out here. Really good plays from the Zai universe lane, outplaying them, barely escaping with both their lives. No punish coming in from Ritsu and friends really sets the tone.
Nature takes its course.
Slark on the Ritsu was unable to get a lot of stuff done, as we can see here. Again, him barely escaping with his life, surviving only on 35 HP.
Needle is missing.
At about 10 minutes, there's a 2-for-1 that happens for EG, with the support Kunkka and the mid Death Prophet dying in exchange for Juggernaut.
Killing
5 minutes later, they secure free Roche, and at that point, they just begin choking out the enemy team, applying pressure to as many towers as possible.
Immortality!
At this point in time, the pressure gets to Ritsu and friends. Both Ritsu and UR get caught out in the mid lane for absolutely no exchange, playing much too far. EG break through the base, using the power of their ages to just dominate the team fight, secure a free Rax. And while we see a valiant effort put up by Ritsu and friends, they do eventually fall at the 20-minute mark. Both these games done in under 25 minutes. Grand total game time of 42 minutes and 12 seconds. This was a really strong showing from EG, but there are some things that we can say about Ritsu and friends and the NA scene in general after this qualifier. A significant number of very talented solo players that just ended up being in a situation where they were unable to make enough happen to really compensate for the lack of teamwork that is very prevalent in a lot of lower tier teams in any region. It should be noted that while I know that both Ritsu and UR are incredibly skilled players, I think that the best play out of anyone on this was actually coming out of Juby. I only got to catch a couple of their games, but he played the most consistently, and he played a very important space-making role. For EG, we have mentioned a couple of issues that I spotted, but overall it wasn't anything massive. PPD struggled a little bit on Disruptor. Zai died a couple too many times, but he still managed to make a lot of space. And we saw Fear being a very, very stable, consistent carry player. As we saw in the past, Fear's arm is an issue. Hopefully it does not manifest in significant pain and decreased play performance, but really only time will tell to see what will happen. Sumail looked a lot more comfortable having Fear, but it could be because they were up against lower competition. In a couple of situations where he died in unfortunate scenarios, he didn't seem to tilt, and he played significantly more controlled than I'm used to seeing him play. I am still worried about his hero pool, as it does seem rather limited, but I am unsure if that's him or if just the way they're deciding to play the game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this dry run. I realize that there are some recording issues. Hopefully they're not too game breaking. I will be continually adapting, try and make the best product. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will probably be back for the playoffs of the NA qualifiers. Talk to you guys later.
And now the song by side, could you pick it up far? But and I am sick, but I don't. That's so cool. How do you do that? I'm geeking out right now. I could pick it up, pick it